Yes. So first of all, I am going to tell you about the unit 1, and the name of this unit is Basic Biology. Right? Basic Biology. And in this Basic Biology, our first chapter is chapter first. The name of chapter is Cell Cycle, Cell Division and Structure of Chromosome. Right? We are going to firstly discuss about the cell cycle. In 9th standard, we have studied about the structure of cell. If we talk about the structure of cell, and we are going to continue the cell with the topic cell cycle and cell division, what is most important in this to understand? We will have to focus on cell membrane. This is important. Inside this cell membrane, there is a living matter. This is important. It is called cytoplasm. And after that, the next important thing, inside this cell, there is another spherical body is present called nucleus. And in this nucleus, there is a thread-like, dense thread-like material is present called chromatin reticulum. Chromatin reticulum. Right? Let's understand the figure properly. That in the 9th standard we have studied that this is a structure of the cell, and in this cell, while we are going to study the cell cycle and cell division, what is important? Then in this structure we will have to understand well that cell membrane. Inside this membrane, a living matter is present, that is called cytoplasm, and inside this cytoplasm there is another spherical body is present, that is called cytoplasm. And the ground substance is called cytoplasm, and the spherical body, that is called nucleus. And inside this nucleus there is a highly condensed network-like structure, or we can say that fiber-like structure is present, that is called chromatin reticulum. So what are the terms we have to understand before going to clear the cell cycle? The function of cell membrane to bound the internal mass of the cell. What is the function of the cytoplasm? Cytoplasm help in the providing shape and rigidity to the cell, and also it is living matter. So if this is a living matter, so without this living matter, the other cell organelles will not be survive. So it is very much important, and it also help in the cell division. So next point is nucleus. What is the main function of nucleus? In 9th standard we have studied that nucleus is also known as the brain of the cell. Why it is known as the brain of the cell? Because we know that it controls all the metabolic activities, right? It controls all the metabolic activities of the cell. So here we will understand that this nucleus is specific, and without this nucleus the cell division is not possible. We can say that only with the help of this nucleus cell division get started. If we talk about the chromatin reticulum, what is this chromatin reticulum? The chromatin reticulum is actually a genetic material present inside the nucleus, and this chromatin reticulum further condensed into the chromosomes. This is a structure of chromosome. In 9th standard you have studied that there are 46 in number chromosomes are present in human body, right? So this chromatin reticulum is a genetic material, and this genetic material is responsible for what? Genetic material is responsible for the resemblance in between the species, that how offsprings looks like father or mother. Same, we can also say the resemblance, right? So this is the technical terms we have to remember while we are going to study the cell cycle. Now, first of all, I would like to discuss here what is cell cycle. If we understand by the help of diagram, then cell cycle again and again repeated. Any event is repeating again and again till the process is completed is called cell cycle. Suppose it is a cell, and for its division a cycle is running on. Repeated events, right? If we can say that division passes through again and again events, or we can also say that sequence of events is called cell cycle, right? If you want to write down the definition of cell cycle, you can write that division passes through again and again events or sequence of events. It is called cell cycle. If we talk about the phases of cell cycle, phases, how many phases a cell cycle have? So there are mainly two phases, right? Number one phase is two phases. Number one, interphase, and number two is mitotic phase. Students, I want your response that are you comfortable in blackboard or whiteboard teaching, green board teaching? Are you getting my voice properly, or the things what I am writing on the board, all the things are visible clearly? Just send me message. So I will be make confirm. Yes ma'am, understand. Nikita, Sahil, yes ma'am. Mansi, yes ma'am. Rishabh, yes ma'am. Okay. Okay, number of students are getting. Voice is clear? Okay. So let's move. So we are here that cell cycle is what? Sequence of repeating events is called cycle. And if the events are related to the cell, then it is called cell cycle. How many phases are there in a cell cycle? There are mainly two phases. Number one phase is interphase and number two phase is mitotic phase. First of all, we are going to understand the interphase, right? If you want to make the notes from the board, you can also take pen, pencil or paper. Make the notes in short by the board, right? Now, I am going to explain here about interphase. Let's see. Interphase. This interphase is also known as non-dividing phase. Interphase is known as non-dividing phase, right? Means we can say that in this phase, cell will not divide. It prepares itself for division. We can also say that it is a preparatory phase. It is a preparatory phase, means preparation of cell division takes place in this phase, but not cell will divide, right? Now what happens in this phase? This phase have three sub-events. Events, or we can say that steps. Three sub-stages we can say, steps we can say, or events we can say. These stages are: first is G1. Here G means growth, or this is also known as gap 1 or growth 1 or first phase. It is growth first phase, right? If we talk about the second step of interphase, it have S phase. S means S phase. S means synthesis phase. Synthesis phase, right? And let's come towards the third stage, that is G2, or we can say gap second. This is growth second phase, right? Let's understand this interface with the help of diagram. We are talking about the cell cycle interface. Let's understand interface with the help of diagram. The first important thing is that this interface is completed within 3 steps. First, here till here. This is called G1 phase. Next is synthesis phase. Synthesis phase is second phase from here to here. It is S phase. I have told you S means synthesis. What happens in it we will discuss later. Synthesis phase. And then the third step is G2, from here to here. G2 phase. G2 phase. That is known as the growth phase, right? In this, these 3 stages, these 3 steps are called interphase. I-N-T-E-R phase, from here to here. And one portion is left in this. One portion which is left, it is M phase, and this M phase is the second phase of the cell division. I have told you that cell cycle completed within 2 steps, that is interphase, and number 2 is mitotic phase. This mitotic phase is actually known as M phase, and this M phase is actually dividing phase. Voice is not clear. What happened to the voice? Due to the distance, I think the voice is not clear. Yes. Try to listen carefully. Okay, now. Once again, I am going to explain all the things. Right? We are studying cell cycle. Cell cycle is what? Again and again, repetitive events of any division is called cell cycle. How many phases a cell cycle have? Cell cycle have two phases. Number 1, interphase, and number 2, mitotic phase. What happens in interphase? Interphase is actually a non-dividing phase, and in the non-dividing phase, the cell takes place for growth and it prepares itself for growth. It becomes mature. It becomes fully grow, but not divided. Then after, what happens in the interphase? There are mainly 3 sub-stages in the interphase. Number 1 is G1 phase, number 2 is S phase, and number 3 is G2 phase. In G1 phase, that is gap 1 phase, what happens? Gap 1 means growth first phase. Growth of the cell will take place in G1 phase, and G1 is a initial stage. It is a initial stage. Initial means first stage, right? And what happens in this S phase? Synthesis phase. Synthesis of DNA and RNA takes place, right? DNA and RNA you have studied in class 9th properly. So now what is in G2 phase? In G2 phase, actually it is a
growth phase.
Yes. Who have unmuted his or her speaker? Voice is coming out. Yes. What happens in G2 phase? It is a post-mitotic phase, right? Means it is growth second phase. And in this phase, cell become properly matured, right? And then in this gap 2 phase, cell is actually ready to enter into the mitotic division. Clear? We will understand now mitotic division in detail.